And shout out to Herb, man. Herb on real Bama boy, straight out of Greensboro, man. This man, he from the Black Belt, and he doing this thing on the biggest stage. Got Kendrick Perkins out here saying he gonna be a defensive player of the year one day. Cause Bama boys play defense.
That's what we do down here, man.
That's what we do, man.
Clamp.
Real defense, man. I can't wait for her to win defensive player. If her win defensive player of the year be, I'm flying to New Orleans with my defensive player of the year trophy. Just to get a picture. Like, hey, bro, hold your trophy. Let me hold my trophy. Like, I know this ain't the same. You know, it's just my conference. It's the whole NBA, but you feel me? Like, from one Bama boy to another, let's go and take a picture real quick. Let folks know we stem.
Down. Down.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of the BeBall podcast, the best in your favorite basketball podcast. Because got the defensive player of the year, and Mr. Hanskin on here, man. What's up, man?
What's going on, bro? How you doing?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. I can't complain, man. Especially since, you know, a certain team made it to the next round in the playoffs. I mean, I'm not gonna point any fingers or nothing, man. Just you know, just somebody made it. That's all I'm saying, man. So that's what we're gonna get into, man. Just reviewing the first round of playoffs. So we'll start with my team, we'll start with your team. It don't matter.
To be real, your team had the more interesting series, so I say we start with them, man. They had me excited.
Yeah, I got a lot to say, man, on both ends of it, man. But I'll let you start it up, man, before I say my piece.
Oh, yeah. All right, so first I'm gonna say this was the first time we really saw Kevin Durant, of all people, Mr. Best scorer of our generation, one of the best scorers of all time. You know, make scoring look so easy, effortless, shoot over the top of anybody. Kevin Durant. This is the first time we ever seen him really look like locked up. Like, I don't know if some people been saying, he getting older. This is his decline, but I don't think that's what it is. Like, because I've seen this man go for 40 and 50 this season. Like, he was scoring the ball. Like, I can see if he had a bad year or an average year, let's say, and then, he get here and he do this. But he been hooping for the most part. Like, was still in some people's minds the best player in the world all season. And we get in the first round of playoffs, he run up on Jason Tatum. And not just Jason Tatum, but his primary defender, Jason Tatum. And the number one defense in the Celtics, and did not look good for the most part. Like we talking about 16 points. Like, I want to say in game 1 he had 16. Game 2 he had like 22, but shot bad from the field. I apologize. So game 1 he had 23, but shot bad from the field. And then game 2, that's when he had 16. Like, we ain't never really seen Kevin Durant have less than 20. Like, multiple times. And then, game 4, he went for 37. I want to say 35, 37, which is great. But it was too late. They still lost. They was already down 3-0. Like, they just were too late. But, man, the Celtics looked like some goons. Like, they was getting in his chest. Like, just real bully ball, being very physical with him, being tough. And my assistant coach said that we was talking about the game. We talking about it just about every game. We was texting back and forth, and we'll talk about it the next day. He was like, this is the first time we was looking at KD like, ooh, like, Kevin, you might want to put an extra plate on that bar in the whole season. They pushing you around a little bit. You might want to throw a little extra weight on there. Like, it was bad, but it wasn't all bad, but for Kevin Durant, it was bad. For what we expect out of him and the player that he has shown us he can be. This performance just was not it. And Kyrie, in his defense, Kyrie Irving had certain games that he didn't really do much to. Yeah, but game one, Kyrie had 30 something. Game two, I don't think he did very much. But so there were games that Kyrie didn't really pull the weight that we are accustomed to seeing him pull. But I feel like the focus is on KD. Like, man, it just did not look good. So, but the Celtics, to give the Celtics they credit, number one defensive team in the league, got the defensive player of the year as he was named, and Marcus Smart. So give them all their credit. But man, we just never seen Kevin Durant look so locked up, so boxed. So, well, I'm ready to hear what you got to say. What do you think about the series?
Well, I'm satisfied with the outcome of it.
Of
course, but I'd be a fool to sit here and say that's what I expected. I was legit expecting that to at least go 6. That's the minimum. I was really thinking 7. Because that was probably the matchup I think out of the entire players. I'm talking about second round, probably even conference finals that everybody wanted to see regardless. Like, because that was probably the biggest matchup of two teams that we wanted to see. And the Nets basically laid an egg, from KD to Kyrie to even Nash. I don't think nobody talked about Nash in the right sense, which I'm going to get into later. But like you said, KD looked superhuman. Like, he was beyond an average NBA player during that series. Like you said, the last game he put up 39, but how you gonna try to go God mode in the final game, bro? Like, that was weird. Like, you're not gonna come down 3-0. Like, not the way they was playing that whole time. Then game 3 he had 16, game 2 he had 27, and game 1 he had 23. Like, for KD, besides a 16-point game, the rest of that doesn't seem bad. 23, that ain't bad. 27, it's about what we expect. 39, it's about what we expect. But the way he looked, like, I don't know what happened.
The eye test.
Yeah, the eye test, like we talked about before, the eye test wasn't there, man. That was not Kevin Durant on that court. Like, Space Jam came in and took the superpowers from KD because he wasn't easy money sniper during those 4 games, man. My thought after the first game, he really got punched in the mouth and he got shook the rest of that game. Like, he wasn't ready for that. Like, I think that threw him off a little bit. But then for that exact same thing to happen the next 2 games, I'm like, yo, something ain't right about KD. Like, I ain't trying to make no excuses, but that wasn't Kevin Durant out there. Like, something was happening off the court that we don't even. That's what I feel like. Him and Kyrie had something going on off the court that we don't know about because Kyrie didn't show up at all either. He showed up a little bit game 1. That was the most Kyrie game we had out of him. But besides that, they look very average from what we expected from them. So that was a big surprise. And then Nash, I got to look at him too, man. I'm not going to call him, call his job out, nothing like that. But he got out coached hands down. Like, he didn't make any good adjustments, bro. Like, everything he did was like, the most adjustment he made was stop calling plays and like follow for KD, which is terrible against our defense. I don't know what he was thinking, but he should have played Blake Griffin earlier or at least LaMarcus Aldridge. He didn't make any adjustments as far as that goes because you can't get bully ball, out rebounded, and out defended, and don't throw a big in there and try it. You're trying to throw a 3-guard lineup in there, but you're not running the floor, which be an advantage to y'all against our defense. But none of that happened. So I don't know what Nash was thinking, bro. Maybe just a rookie mistake in that situation. I don't know what was happening, honestly. But Nash got thoroughly outcoached. And KD looks superhuman, but I'm not going to sit here and just make it all about the Nets. We did our thing, too. We came with a game plan. We punched him in the mouth. Tatum looked like a beast, like we've been expecting. Jaylen Brown did his thing. He needed more touches. Marcus Smart did his thing. And boys did their job. You feel me? Like, can't take away from what they did because they punched him in the mouth. It would be different if we didn't come out there and ball out. Jason Tatum didn't play his butt off. Then I could sit here and take some hate. But we did what we supposed to do. We ain't showing no mercy, bro, because K didn't show up. You didn't show up, that's your problem, bro. Like, hey. Thanks. So proud of what we did, man. Now we got to figure out how to win this next round. But I'm satisfied with what we did in the first round, man. But we still got games to play.
Yeah, still got games to play. Yeah, against the man. The man, the myth, the legend. Hey, hold on. Since you had on your hat, I don't know if you see. Hold on, I got the shorts on, the Milwaukee shorts. I was hooping in these today, looking like Giannis, killing the boys in the ring. Um, but we not on that right now. We on the first round. But yeah, but they did their thing. They're definitely a great coach and great game plan for the Nets, and I admire things like that and appreciate them. You know, we just had last week. We just had our coaches talk come out, and we saw a great example of great coaching, great game plan, and we also saw a great example of not so great coaching, not having the ability to adjust and change game plans and pivot, and finding a way to win the game. And so that was another interesting part of the series. I saw somebody, I don't want to be the guy spreading Twitter hate, you know what I'm saying? But I saw something funny. I got it. Somebody said, I saw somebody say, in the beginning of the year, Kyrie Irving, for those who don't know, Kyrie Irving once said he doesn't think they need a coach. They can just go out there and hoop, right? For context. But I saw somebody on Twitter say, Kyrie Irving said they don't need a coach. And he 100% right because Steve Nash ain't doing nothing but pacing back and forth. And he was, though. It was funny because, I can see Steve when stuff don't go right, he'll be like,
yeah.
You can see him, focusing, dang, what do we do? Where we go right here? Yeah. I can see it on his face. The wheels is turning, but I don't think he can come up with much. He putting Blake Griffin in the game to give him some size, but Blake was DNP a couple games ago. He ain't ready to play for real. I don't know if anybody here, the Hoopers in here, I don't know if you ever didn't play a whole game, but it's hard to not play and then get in and try to be expected to make an impact. You know what I'm saying? So,
but surprisingly, he did.
He did.
He booked 3 threes in a row. Now I was like, bro, if Blake Griffin went in this game, I was finna just I don't even know. But
you got to charge it to the game,
bro. But on the other end of thinking of Nash, I was like, that's a good adjustment. He finally made the adjustment I was with him. Because after game one, he got to play LA or Blake Griffin. He has to.
Got to.
You finna get punched in the mouth the whole game. You got to play one of your bigs. Because
when you say punched in the mouth, these boys playing Al Horford. They playing Robert Williams. They got Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown out there who ain't no little boys. They big guards, big forwards, whatever you want to classify them as. Yeah. Marcus Smart, who a dog. They got goons out there.
Yep.
And the Nets at times was playing Seth Curry, Kyrie Irving, and Patty Mills at the same time.
And it's Dragic too. Bro, Dragic got a couple buckets. He was useful here and there, but what?
You got 3 point guards out there, Kevin Durant and Bruce Bowen. Bruce Brown, I mean.
Yeah.
You got Kevin Durant and Bruce Brown out there as your 4 and 5, and wonder why we can't get a rebound. We playing 3 point guards, and the Celtics ain't got but one. They got Marcus Smart out there. They playing Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. Who's the 4? The foreign guy. Theis might be out there, and Al Horford. And you got 3 point guards. So that means Seth Curry or Patty Mills got to guard Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown.
Yep.
And I don't like that matchup. I don't know about y'all. This baby food, they're too small. And if we miss, guess what? Al Horford or somebody grabbing the rebound, putting it back in because they got Kevin Durant on them. It just was a bad matchup for them altogether. The matchups just were not in their favor. They're too small. And they were the Nets are a team that don't play great defense at all. Bottoms of the league in defense. Great offensive team, but bottoms in the league in defense. And they playing the number 1 defensive rated team in the Celtics. It's just not a matchup for them. Because it ain't like the Celtics was bottoms in the league in offense. They're a good offensive team too. But they just so happen to be number 1 in defense. The Nets in the bottom of the league in defense. So now you talking about a team that has great defense playing against a team that tries to outscore people.
Yeah.
And so it just was not a great matchup for them. And I expected the Celtics to win, But I did not think they were going to do it in the way that they did, sweeping them, making Kevin Durant look like that, making Kyrie look like that. It was just oof,
Yeah,
all down here.
I expect at least one game for KD to just be like,
Go crazy.
that's why they pay you that money, boy. That's why we call you the best player in the league. He tried it game 4, but it was just like, nah, man. Like it was like he finally looked like KD to an extent, but it was like a shell of himself almost, man. Like I really cannot explain what I saw from him. Like I think he was overthinking, and game 4, like he was almost playing dumb to an extent. Like he would drive into the double team. Like we weren't even double teaming him yet. He would drive into the big, then finally pick it up and try to kick it back out. But you're kicking it out to where Marcus Smart lurking, Jaylen Brown lurking, and you got double teamed by Jason Tatum and Al Horford. Like, what did you expect, bro? Like,
Man, and so I was telling this to my assistant coach in one of our conversations we had. And some people might take this the wrong way, but whatever. Not the wrong way, but like me being a LeBron like fan or something. I'm not even like a big LeBron fan or nothing like that. I respect LeBron, but Anyway, I said, this series is where we really seeing the difference between LeBron and KD. Because when KD got double teamed, KD averaged over 5 turnovers a game for the series. And that's because when he was getting doubled, he really couldn't pass out of it. Like, he couldn't make the correct read. And it's tough. Like, you getting doubled, like, that's to be – but the thing about it is, when you're Kevin Durant and you're the guy, as Charles Barkley said, when you're driving the bus, you should be expecting to get double teamed. Like, you're the best scorer on this team, possibly the best scorer in this league, probably. And you getting double teamed, and you're turning it over like you've never been doubled before.
yeah.
So, like, you should be expecting, like, they going to double me. Like, they ain't got no choice. Like, that should be common knowledge to you. But the difference we saw between Kevin Durant and LeBron, and it's why we don't see LeBron get double teamed like we saw Kevin Durant. It's not because LeBron can't score. It's because LeBron can pass and he can direct traffic. LeBron might get double one play, might turn it over, might not, whatever. But then LeBron is the type of guy to make that adjustment. Like, hey, if he move, cut. If he come to me, stand, move to the open spot, be here, I'm going to hit you this and this and this. He can direct traffic and won't make the same mistake twice. And so that passing and that basketball IQ is what makes him that step above Kevin Durant. Because we all know KD a better scorer than Bron. Like, overall, like, give him the ball, get out the way, get a bucket. We know KD is the better scorer. But that's where we saw the difference in games and in play and the way they play. KD get doubled, can't really make the read. They kind of pushing him out of spot, making him uncomfortable. Now it's like turnover. And then you got guys like Bron that's like, he just as big a threat to score, but it's like, oh, they sent a double. Hey, if he go this way, whole time he direct the trap, he dribbling.
Yep.
Move this way, cut, backdoor pass. Somebody watch. It's like, and then it gets to the point where it's like, dang, we can't double Bron. We can't double him. Like, he's making the right reads. Making the right read made people change the whole game plan. It's like, oh, okay, this is not working. Yeah. Every time we do this, somebody's open.
Yeah.
So we really saw the difference in LeBron and Kevin Durant, and why LeBron has been the best player in the world for so long, why KD's also been playing. So that was something I thought was interesting about the series too.
Yeah, it was weird to see, man, because like you said, it ain't like he never been double teamed before. Like, once again, you are Kevin Durant. You should have win going. Your game plan should have been, when they double team me, what is my next move? Like, that's how I should have been thinking. They go double team me here. If they double team me here off of you, I want you to do this. It's really not that hard to come up with. It's really not that hard. Like, I promise you. Like, I ain't trying to sit here and make it seem like we were playing some amazing just defense. We just punched them in the mouth a little physical. The rest let us play, which is big to our advantage. And we just double teamed the heck out of them. Like, it really wasn't any sophisticated, unseen defense like the Heat threw out in the bubble one time when they were playing like this super wide 3-2 or 2-3 defense that we ain't seen before. Like, the wings playing up top and something like that. Was a little weird. We ain't seen that before. We literally just double teamed him at the right spots. Like, and we just were very physical, and the rest let us get away with a couple stuff here and there. So it was surprising to see KD look like Kristaps Porzingis or something, bro. Like that was.
Ooh, he took a big step down.
But that's how bad he looked, though, man. Like
Oh,
they about the same height and everything, but it's supposed to be unicorns. So it's like you look like that. That's the parallel that I give you. And I'm a KD fan. It's not like me trying to clown him or nothing. I am a fan of Kevin Durant, so it hurt me to see him look like that. So it was weird. And like the only two things I can compare the series to is to when the last time I seen him get locked up when he was young KD and Tony Allen was giving him the business. That was like 2014, 2015 when he was still in OKC, I think. Yeah, he had to be in OKC. So him and the Grizzlies, the Thunder and Grizzlies, when they were going back and forth, Tony Allen gave him the business. And that's the last time I seen him really get just like clamped up.
But that's Tony Allen.
But 6'4", bro. Like at the same time, like at the end of the day, shoot over him. But that was young KD, so I kind of give him a little pass on that. And speaking of LeBron, the 07 finals with the Spurs, when he got smacked around, he couldn't do nothing. Like he looked super human. Like when I tell you LeBron did not look like LeBron at all, that was like Superman got kryptonite on him and he couldn't do nothing. Like that's the last time I remember. Besides that finals with the Mavs, he looked pretty bad too. But Pop knows how to coach against LeBron. Given right pieces, he makes LeBron look less LeBron-like. So that's something I can really compare this series to is those two things. So I think that's about all I got on it right now, man. But as we move on, man, we got another beast we gotta look at, another unicorn we gotta face. And we ain't look good against that. I ain't see the first game, sadly. I was busy, but we ain't handle business. But I'm just proud. We talking about the first round though. Like I said, we talking about the first round. So let's focus on that.
Understandable. Hey, you got it. You got it. But wait till this second round. The second round episode, guys. Y'all want to miss it.
It's gonna be a good one. Interesting one to see. So we'll see, man. But let's go ahead and talk about your team, man. See what your boy did.
Yeah, man. I'm glad my guys took care of business against the Bulls first round. They had me a little nervous. I ain't gonna lie. They had me a little nervous because game one they won, but they really wasn't supposed to. If you watch the game, in game one, DeMar DeRozan went what was it, like 6 for 24, something crazy like that. And if you watch the game, he took all shots that he can make, like his shots, pull up middies, coming off the screen, getting open, pull up, like shots that he like. We think of DeMar DeRozan, it's cash. Mm-hmm. Like really getting to his spots, just was not executing, wasn't hitting. And so he even said he was like, I'll never shoot that bad again and all that, which he probably won't, but we won't know for a while. But then game two, so we snuck out of there with game one. Really was supposed to lose. Then game two, DeMar DeRozan come out there, give him 40. Now I'm like, oof. So can we not guard DeMar DeRozan or like what's happening? I watched that game too, and I realized Drew Holiday needed to guard DeMar DeRozan because every time DeMar got on him, Drew got on him, he really locked this stuff up. I don't know, DeMar was even shooting over Giannis. Like, he'll come out the screen, get the switch on Giannis, and kind of like fade, pull up, and shoot over the top of him, over the top of Giannis, which is crazy. Mm-hmm. And it was going in. He could not miss. So it's the complete opposite of the game before. So that's when I started getting worried. I was like, man, he's still getting to his spots. And today he's making it. But the thing about it was when Drew Holiday got on him, he kind of locked that up. And I don't know why, like, I don't know what made Drew such a great defender. Like, I don't know if it's just the want to or the hustle or what it is. Like, he got the intangibles of a great defender, obviously. But, like, if you ever watch Drew Holiday play, they set screens on Drew. Drew stepping over the screen, like, getting through it, and dudes not getting around him. Like, it's almost on some 2K stuff. Like, oh, you set the screen? Oh, I'm over there. I'm still here. No switching. Like, oh, it's me, you.
Yeah.
Like, he owned it, bro. And I just be looking at him like, dang, Drew, you tough. That's how I really look at it. I be like, Drew, you tough, because most guys in the league not doing that. And so once I saw that, I was like, okay. Drew can guard DeMar. He can kind of get under his chin. Don't let him go crazy like that. But they didn't do that till he already had 30-something. And then going down the stretch, DeMar couldn't get a bucket. But going down the stretch, the Bulls just made more plays than them, so they won that one. And then Bobby Portis came back, and the rest is history. We won the series. So,
but yeah, I didn't watch too much of that one because I kind of expected what's going to happen. I think it would have been a more interesting series if the Bulls weren't so beat up, and they had Alex Caruso, they had Alonzo, and Zach the full time. I'm not saying the outcome would have been different, but it would have been a more interesting series to watch and be like, let's see what they can do. Because we were talking about them possibly being, contenders come out the East like in January before injuries kicked their butt and, the hot streak cooled off and everything. But they were looking like a solid team for a while. DeMar went on a stupid tear, MVP run, MVP caliber stint for a while. But the Bulls didn't get a fair chance to really, put their best foot out there. But like I said, the outcome more than likely wouldn't have been different, but it would have been nice to see the Bulls at full strength and be like, okay, let's see. That's the real measuring stick to see where you are. You feel me? So we had all this talk all this year. Let's see what you look like against the Bucks, who are one of the guys who's talking about running it for the championship. So
right.
This is a real test to see where you guys are at. So I don't feel like we got a real chance to see what the Bulls could have been or could be moving forward, because I don't see them really moving too much, honestly. They might get a piece here and there, role play here and there, but from the Bulls, I'm running back with most of the same crew. Like a tweak here and there for the most part, but I'm really just gonna run it back with the same crew and see what we can do. Just focus on being healthy. So, yeah, Giannis is Giannis, which is
why he is Giannis.
So hey, that's not to be. Like I said, the outcome would not have, I don't think the outcome would have been any different if the Bulls were fully healthy. So, but yeah, man, that's all I got for that one. Let's go to shoot, who was the other big? Oh, gotta go to the probably the next biggest series to have was the Grizzlies and the T-Wolves, man. Ja versus Pat Bev, Cat, and Ant-Man,
Man, so let me pop this off with this. Sorry, my mic was muted. Sorry. Just out here mouth moving. But let me pop this off with this. I gotta say this. Like, it's been sitting on my heart for a little while. And people can take it how they want to take it. But I'm gonna say I strongly dislike Karl Anthony Towns.
Bruh, let me tell you.
I can't stand him. I can't stand him. He was getting on my nerves.
For that reason, I don't like. I won't say I never liked him, but for the past few years, I'm just like, something I don't like about this guy, man. He can play. He can play, but I just
But this series, when I finally got paid attention to him fully and saw him for 4 games, I was like, I don't like this dude. I don't like him. I'm not gonna say I hate him, but I don't like him. I don't care if I never see him again. This man, number one, I feel like he's soft. I gotta say, I feel like he's soft. He want to be a guard. He want to, dance, shoot. That's all well and good. You want to be a shooting big. That's a normal thing nowadays. That's fine. But this man drive to the goal. They trying to strip him and they hit his arms and junk. And he like, bro, you're soft. You're soft. That junk be killing me, bro. That be killing because man, I don't want to be soft. I feel like being soft is such a anti-big thing. Like if you're a big, you're a 5, you can't be soft. Like that's one thing. And my coaches be on me. They be like, man, you playing soft. Like they be on me about stuff like that. Then I see Cat going in the lane. I don't know if that's what noises he making, but that's what it sound like. I mean, that's what it looked like. And then he be getting fouled and don't make it. I feel like, bro, this jump be making me mad. And then the icing on the cake, boy. I don't know if you've seen it, but it can kind of going around on social media. But I don't know if you've seen it. When he was in that post game interview, and they asked him, like, it was like, you struggling to make shots in the last game or whatever. Like, how'd you get your shots off this game? And bro was like, that's what I do. You know, they they give me the ball. They expect me to make it happen. It's what I do. First off, that ain't how bro talk. First, he don't talk like that. Because I
He
just seen
changes his accent like every other interview I see him in, so I don't know how he talk. Every other video I see him, he changes his accent, bro.
I seen this man do a podcast with some gamers, like with a streamer that I watched.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's weird.
And he talked like he got like a high pitched voice. He sound like a child. He sound like a kid. So like a little kid. He talking about video game, get excited. He sound like a kid. Yep. He getting an NBA interview. That's what I do. You know, trying to sound like Shaq or something. I'm like, bro, that's not even you. Stop acting like that, bro. That's not you. Mm-hmm. And then, man, I'm not trying to make this all about Karl Anthony Towns. I promise. But man, you know, you get this platform to give me somewhere I can just say these things, man. Like this man, when Steven Adams wrapped him up and then let him have a lay,
I was like,
and then he was like trying to get Steven Adams. I'm like, bro, just chill. First off, he trying to hold you up. He trying to do you a solid because he couldn't let you fall. He holding you up. And you doing all this, like, man, like you just want him to get off you, like you just some kind of big dude. Like, first of all, you don't want no smoke with Steven Adams. I can tell you that for certain. I can tell you for certain you don't want smoke with, bro. Not you, especially. you don't want no smoke with, bro. Like, just stop it. And number two, like, stop acting out, bro. Like, he out here talking trash. Like, oh, we in Minnesota now. He out here, like, shushing the crowd after he make a shot. Like, I'm like, bro, I just don't. That's not you, bro. And then they get beat, and he out here kissing to the crowd. Like, bro, they don't care, bro. You just lost in the first round. Like, you think they happy? You think they satisfied? You out here kissing them goodbye? Like, they not, bro. Them folks not happy.
Yeah.
Like that jump, boy. I just can't, man. Oh, it was eating me up. I'm like, boy, I don't like this dude. He is everything I despise. Like, he's soft, but I'm sorry. What you think about this? Man,
I'll let you have it because I feel the same way. But I never wanted to come public with it because I don't want to seem like a hater. Because I really can't point to anything besides him feeling. I feel like he's soft to be like, I don't like him, man. And the only thing I can give, like, that gives me validation to be like that is Jimmy Butler was like, he never said anybody specifically, but I've heard that he does like Andrew Wiggins. He does respect Andrew Wiggins. So if it's Jimmy Butler, Andrew Wiggins, and Cat, and Jimmy's saying, I don't like these guys here, but I like Wiggins, what does that leave you with?
He the issue.
So that's one thing that I was like, okay. But like you said, I feel like he's soft, man, and I don't want to say he's a front runner, but he just doesn't perform very well when you need him to. I'll say that.
That's valid. That's understandable.
How do you play terrible in a play-in game? Now, granted, let's here's the human side of me where I come out. That I think that was the anniversary of something between his mom and COVID. I want to put that out there. So something.
Yeah, like his mom passed away in 2020 to COVID.
Yeah, I think that was the date that she passed or something like that. So I do want to, I don't know if people know that, so I want to put that out there first. So that's why he probably didn't perform as well as we expect. But I just, outside of that, he doesn't perform that well to me, man. Like, you can't say we in Minnesota now and not drop at least 30 points. You can't talk all this stuff. Like, they asked that one, I thought you were gonna bring up the interview. They was like, you didn't play well, so how you gonna move on to the next game? He was like, Anthony, do but go home, get a drink, and just play on. You haven't earned the right to say that, bro. You're not one. LeBron can say that because you know LeBron gonna show up and be like, "I'm kicking everybody, but I'm dropping 40 with a triple double. What's up?" KD, well, old KD can say that. When KD actually showed up, he can say that.
When KD actually showed up,
KD be like, "Man, they locked me up. They ain't locked me up. It was just a tough game out there, and I'm do but take a drink, just take a shower, and just come back next game." You haven't earned anything, bro. You won one little 3-point shooter contest. You got Pat Bev gassing you up. and now you the dog. What?
And this your first playoff series ever.
Come on, dog.
This your first one.
You haven't earned anything to be like just take a drinking move for. No, bro. You should be pissed off. You should be throwing chairs. You should be if you want to be mad, if you want to be have antics there. Be pissed off. Be a dog in the locker room. Get on everybody's butt, but show up and drop 30 and 10, 30 and 12 the next game. 30 and 15. 40 and 15. Like, come on, bro. Like, anyway, Ja did his thing. Congrats to the Grizzlies. It's like 30 minutes talking about this man, but
Man,
Pat Bev is Pat Bev. Ja showed us why he was special because that man got to the rim with ease.
man, the
Bang
last
is a
game of the
great shooter.
series. Yeah. Oh, Bang hooped.
Bang's a hooper. Dylan Brooks, he's a little slept on, but that's expected to be with the Grizzlies others. I won't say others, but the others because it's Ja and you know. But anyway, Grizzlies looking nice, man. I'll say this. I don't expect them to beat the Warriors at all, but I do expect them to give them a real good fight. Even if it's like 4-1, I do expect them to give them a fight at least 4 games. I think one game where it's just playing stuff goes stupid and all hell breaks loose and they just like you know how the Warriors go. Some point in the third quarter, Clay turns it on, then Steph get hot, Jordan Poole goes stupid, and then it's just water shit after that point. But I do expect them to come out and give them a good fight at least 4 games if it does go, like 4-1. So I am happy they moved on. That's the team I wanted to see play the Warriors because I just once again not a fan of certain people of the Timberwolves organization. So I just
certain members of the Timberwolves organization.
It is somebody. I like Pat Bev. I like Ant-Man. I like Tyus Jones, my unknown cousin. He don't know me, but we cousins. Jones bloodline.
Jones blood.
I claim him and Trey. That's our cousins. But yeah, man. I'm happy for the Grizzlies that they moved on and Aquaman gets to live on again.
Oh yeah, we all love Aquaman. But I did enjoy watching 2 of the young stars in the league go at it, John Morant and Anthony Edwards. And another thing I want to say about that series, I could tell how young both teams are by the way they play.
Oh yeah, that was
the whole series. There was a lot of young mistakes, like turnovers at crucial moments, bad reads, coming off screens, making the wrong decisions.
Yeah,
like a lot of that in the game from both teams, and you could just tell how young they were. Like it's just a lack of experience. That's part of the reason I was telling people like I don't think they'll get very far, especially playing a team like the Warriors who've been there before, know what it takes. Like they just don't get me wrong. I think the Grizzlies are a great team. I think they're solid, great team. They built well. People know they role, play it well. That's all important. And Ja doing his thing is they start.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look how they do things, like look at the bad things they do, the bad mistakes they make, it be lack of experience and maturity a lot of times. Like they don't have a lot of knowledge of how to do things in the playoffs. Like they wasting possessions.
Yeah.
And
that was terrible.
And in the playoffs, every possession counts. Everyone. So I don't know. We'll see how they do against the Warriors, but man, I thought that was one of the main things I took away from that series. It's like, man, now both teams solid. They got good players, good role players that play well in their systems.
Yeah.
And I feel like the Grizzlies in the future could be, if they can keep that core together, Jared Jackson Jr., John Morant, and Bane, like they keep that little core together and let them grow and develop, man, they could be something. They could be contenders, but for right now, it's just they gotta get more experience. This year is good for them, even if they lose the Warriors. This year would be a great thing for them in the future, as long as they stay together, having that little playoff experience, knowing what it takes or like what it's like. And I'm excited for the future for them. But for right now, gotta say I like Golden State for the next round. But
yeah, like this last thing I was saying, because I was thinking about that. I can't remember what game it was, but it was game 2 or 3, I think. And I was like, both of them were blowing leads. And I was like, if this was actually not even a better team, but a more experienced team, let's say this is across conference, let's say like the Bulls, DeMar DeRozan's a vet, Zach LaVine's a vet. They will take care of business and be like, yo, no, this ain't happening. So you blow a lead against them, it's a wrap. Or they made a couple runs in a row where it was just bad possessions and they were making dumb plays. You said dumb plays, dumb possessions, just wasting stuff. The Wolves didn't capitalize because they're a young team. But you match up against one of these vet teams, even if they might be a lesser team, not experienced, more experienced, but not as talented as them, y'all losing this game terribly. Like, the reason y'all winning because y'all playing against another young team and y'all just got certain things going for y'all that T-Wolves didn't have. You know what I mean? So if they were playing a more experienced team, a veteran team, they would have got smacked around. Like, it wouldn't have been a sweep or nothing, but it would have been a uglier series than what we saw. Like, that was just, man, it was just like you said, it was just a very inexperienced all around series that showed how young they were. You know, like, if that was a Chris Paul led team, you would have saw a lot of that getting cut out. Like the Suns, we're gonna talk about them. Probably we can go into them next, but the Suns have a lot of young guys, but Chris Paul covers so many sins that you would see if Chris Paul was not on the team. They don't have anybody. They don't have anybody that's that type of guy to be like, you potentially made 15 mistakes, but I covered up for 10 of them. We only seen 5 of them. But this series, you saw all 15 mistakes. They were terrible. So
bad.
That's the thing that like you said, that really stood out to me, that both of them were super young and it looks so bad at some points where it's just like, sheesh, man. Like, y'all not win nothing this year. If y'all win, y'all must have matured like that, because man, that was terrible. But like I say about them. So let's go on to the Suns, man, and the point guard that showed his butt off. Actually, I wish I had a Chris Paul or something, because I would be wearing that too. That boy tapped in or something. Like, he went
point guard.
Boy, what was it? 13 for 13, 14 for 14.
14 for 14.
14 for 14 the closeout game. And he was hitting clutch buckets too. Like, it was just like, it got to a point where he was like 10 for 10. Came down, got into the lane, snaked around, shot, tip, drop. Okay, 11 for 11. Whew. Same thing, get to the spot. His little fadeaway jumper that he do.
Clean.
Okay, another one. Another little fader. The next one, he had like 3 or 4 of them shots that I just like bounced around the rim a couple times. And I was like, boy, that's not, please let it fall. Please let it fall. Yes. But that boy, I don't know what kind of use he got from. I feel like we need to check his birth certificate and his ID, because that boy is lying about his age. Ain't no way that man 37 playing like that, man. Because I don't know what he taking, but he had a good hit of that. He had a good drink of that. Whatever he eating, the vegan meals is doing him right. Because
vegan meals,
the point guard showed why he's the point guard, especially that last game. But the whole series, he really showed his thing. So it just makes me wonder what a healthy Chris Paul would have looked like in the finals. But man, point guard did his thing, bro.
Man, it's tough, but like Chris Paul closeout game, 33 points, 8 assists, like 14 for 14, like you said, 5 rebounds. Just can't ask for more than that, you know? And he did it without Devin Booker. Devin Booker not playing. That make it even more valid. Like, dang, like he stepped up for his team because they been score out. Now he doing the scoring. And so that lets you know he has that ability still at 37, like you said. So shouts out to him, man. He did his thing. And the Pelicans really, you know, they made some noise for a minute. Like, and you know, granted, D-Book was out, so we don't know how it would have went if he played. But can't lie, I think the Pelicans shot some people. Like they
shot
took
me,
it to 6.
Man.
And shout out to Hurd, man. Hurd Jones, real Bama boy, straight out of Greensboro, man. This man he from the Black Belt, and he doing this thing on the biggest stage. Got Kendrick Perkins out here saying he gonna be a defensive player of the year one day. Because Bama boys play defense.
That's what we do down here, maybe.
That's what we do, man.
Clamps.
Real defense, man. I can't wait for her to win defensive player. If her win defensive player of the year be, I'm flying to New Orleans with my defensive player of the year trophy just to get a picture. Like, hey, bro, hold your trophy. Let me hold my trophy. Like, I know this ain't the same. You know, it's just my conference. It's the whole NBA, but you feel me? Yeah. Like, from one Bama boy to another. Let's go and take a picture real quick. Let folks know we stamped.
Yeah, man. Like
Man.
Herb did his thing, man. He had a couple of plays. Like, don't get me wrong, I was rooting for the Suns, obviously, because I'm a Chris Paul guy. But
Right.
Herb had a couple of plays where I was like, you know how you trying to sneak in and be like, that's how I felt watching Herb a couple of times. I was like, go, son, go Chris Paul, go. Herb, like, he got a steal. I think it was on the Chris Paul D-book, something happened, and he got a steal. He went behind the back, and had a dunk on or a lay.
But yeah, I remember what you're talking about.
Like, back to Suns, man.
Yes, I want Herb to do good and nobody else.
Like, I love CJ. I think B.I.'s gonna be good in a couple years. But I was rooting for Herb, man. Like, if Herb dropped 30 and locked somebody besides Chris Paul and D-book up, I would have been satisfied and been happy. But the point guard had to show himself, man. So shout out to Herb, though, like you said. Shout out to Bama boys been representing.
Real Bama boy, man. Lock some up, bro. It made me so proud. Like, it made me proud. Like, not just because he's from Alabama, but because he's from Alabama and he's a defensive player. Because, like, now it's like, oh, I feel seen. Like, ooh, real Bama boy, lock some up in the playoffs. He on Chris Paul giving him fits. Like, and you know, like we kind of been talking about, like, the more experienced team won. Pelicans ain't been to the playoffs. Like, none of them guys have played in the playoffs before, other than Brandon Ingram, CJ, of course, and you know CJ's their leader, but and Steven. No, I'm gonna say Steven Adams. Valanciunas,
yeah,
but other than that, like, none of them guys really been to the playoffs. You know, less experienced team. Jose Alvarado, young. Herb, young. B.I., young.
Yeah, they had like 3 rookies playing, and all of them did well.
Exactly. So, you know, the more experienced team won. But they made some noise, woke some people up. Who knows what would have happened if Zion Williamson would have been playing, whenever that may be. But, you know, they still did their thing, man. And it made me happy to see her. Let me just say that. So, but
yeah, man. Yeah.
But the next series, probably go Golden State, Denver. I don't think there's much interesting to say about that other than doggone Jordan Poole probably should have won Most Improved the way he was hooping.
Let me tell you, man. So
good.
I'm on social media right now, so I'm gonna have my rant here. We talked about Most Improved on the last episode, NBA Awards. If you missed it, go back and watch it. Pause this one, go back and watch that one, then come back and watch this because you can hear my rant. There's no way Ja Morant as, I think, a number 2 pick. We talked about that. We talked about
all-star,
a guy. He was an all-star. How do you win Most Improved? How? We expect you to take leaps. Just because you took a bigger leap than we thought, oh, no, bro. Like, we expect him to take leaps. So you improved. Honestly, Most Improved might be the most disrespectful award, because what it is saying, oh, we didn't think you'd be that good. Here, that's all the award is. We expected Ja to be great. So for him to be great is good job. You did what we expected. Now, for you to be MVP caliber in your 3rd year, wow, we did not expect that. Congrats. But we've seen that. Oh, disrespect, but we've seen that before. What are you doing? But like, unless you just came out and won a championship this year, Finals MVP, and you averaged 40, there's no way I'm giving you anything close to Most Improved, bro. Like, no way. You would have to went from 16 to 40 and went from, like, no, bro. Like, there's no way he should have Most Improved, man. Like, Jordan Poole should have got it. His teammate, like he said, he gave it to Bane. Bane could have been up there. Like, there's no way Josh should have got that, man. Like, that just bothered me, bro. Like, there's no way you're a top 3 pick and we giving you Most Improved. Like, that's just no.
And he been hooping. Like, he been playing well. Granted, you know, he's arriving now because he's a star, but he's been his team's number 1 option since he came in the league. This man Jordan Poole was like was riding the bench, and like Clay get hurt and he slide into his role and he hooping. Yeah. And I just can't, man. I'm with you. Like, you can't take that away from guys. Like, somebody who wasn't even getting burned last year for real. He coming in getting like little spot minutes here and there. He just, you know, a little bench player, but like,
Mm-hmm.
You giving a guy that won Rookie of the Year, second overall pick, All-Star, most improved, and not the guy who went even starting last year. Like, I just can't get with that. And I respect the job for giving
Yeah.
that award to Bane and all that. I think that's very real. That's solid for you to
Mm-hmm.
do that as a teammate. Like, because in his mind, he thinking just like you. Like, he's supposed to be doing this. Like, he's supposed to be making jumps. He's a number one player on his team, number one option. He's their focal point, and he's supposed to be taking leaps. But Poole was not expected to even be a big factor for a team. Nobody was out here saying, "Hey, watch out for Jordan Poole next year. He gonna be hooping." Nobody was saying that.
Yep.
Like, this man came out the woodwork hooping and became basically the third Splash brother.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cause man, like, he fit right into their system. Do what they do. Like, he hoop just like them. And being under Stephen Clay, he only gonna get better. And Draymond, being around them and under their tutelage with their experience and knowledge of the game, and then with that Warrior system, he gonna be a great player. But I just don't. I hate that that's been taken away from him. Like,
Yeah.
because he's not gonna win it next year.
Ain't no
Like,
way.
unless he just become Klay Thompson reincarnated. Like, he not winning it next year now because he's hooping right now in the playoffs and all. So next year he hooped the same way. It's not going to be looked at the same because it's like, oh, we expected you to be doing that.
Yep.
And so I just kind of hate that was taken away from him. But all props to him for hooping the way he is in the playoffs right now because he's playing his tail off. Like, he's scoring the ball with the best of them. He make the Warriors almost unstoppable. If he get it going, you got Steph and Clay still out there, and he get it going. You still got Draymond out there directing, getting these guys the ball, and then you got big like what's the big name? The five. Doggone.
Shoot. Somebody Kevin Looney, yeah.
Yeah, Looney, who's more experienced than John, he gonna come in there, get you some hustle points, some dirty buckets. Like, but I hate that for him. But we all respect Poole now, and the Warriors are looking great. They the Warriors might be back. I hate to say, I know some people probably don't want it to be. Probably sick of seeing the Warriors, sick of